In Washington, D.C. Yesterday, here in Washington and across the country, we were excited to celebrate the second anniversary of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, a generational investment in American infrastructure, particularly in transit, with the biggest investment in American transit in the history of our country. Today, we are also excited to announce an investment in Madison, Wisconsin that will create important construction jobs, build brand new American-built buses, and create new ways for the people of Madison to move around their lives. I'm pleased to be joined today by Kelley Brookins, FTA's Administrator in Region 5, which includes Wisconsin, Congressman Mark Pocan, Mayor Rhodes-Conway, and Justin Stuehrenberg, General Manager of Madison Metro Transit. Madison's Rapid Route A is the latest example of how the Biden-Harris administration is investing in public transportation to improve people's lives across the country. To learn more about the project that we're talking about today and about FTA's support, I'm excited to turn this over to my colleague, FTA Regional Administrator Kelley Brookins. She and the Congressman will cover some general points about the project and our federal support. The Madison City officials will update you on the latest with the BRT project. Then we're happy to take your questions. Kelley?
Thank you, Paul, and hello, everyone. We are here to speak about the Madison Metro Rapid Route A bus rapid transit line. So today is an exciting day. The Federal Transit Administration has signed a grant agreement with the city, and it's for $110.6 million to support the line through our Capital Investment Grant Program. We're happy our federal dollars are going to the city of Madison to contribute to this important project, one that will improve the lives of residents and visitors throughout the region. As many of you know, the 15-mile line will run from Yellowstone, southwest of the city, to Sun Prairie in the northeast. And along the way, it will travel through the University of Madison, Wisconsin campus, providing a fast and efficient transit service to over 50,000 students with 20,000 staff, as well as to downtown Madison and to the state capitol. For transit riders, the A-line will mean frequent and reliable service to all the capital city has to offer. The A-line will also relieve congestion in an area considered the most congested in the region. This is not your grandfather's bus. BRT provides modern-looking vehicles. They're faster and more efficient than the typical American bus. More than that, we're pleased to support an all-electric bus service, which makes a green mode of transportation even more climate-friendly. The Capital Investment Grants Program is the federal government's main competitive grant program to support new and expanding subway, light rail, streetcar, and bus rapid transit projects that are locally planned and implemented and operated. As Paul mentioned, our announcement comes during an important week. We're celebrating the second anniversary of President Biden's signing of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, which is creating economic opportunity throughout America. We are so happy to add the Metro Rapid Route A bus rapid transit line to the long list of projects being supported with that landmark legislation. Yes, this is an exciting day. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelley. And now we're happy to recognize one of the true champions of transportation in the United States House of Representatives and a champion of the president's bipartisan infrastructure law, Congressman Mark Pocan. Congressman?
Thank you very much, Paul and Kelley. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this grant. You mentioned a little bit, I bet you Mayor Rhodes-Conway is going to say a whole lot more since this is her vision about the project. So I'm going to try to talk a little bit about 30,000 foot about this. As we've said now, this is the 2-year anniversary of passing the law. And, I know of at least 4 administrations, Democrat and Republican, where we talked about investing in our infrastructure. But talk doesn't put electric buses on roads in Madison. Passing bills does. And last session, we did that when the House and the Senate were able to pass a bipartisan infrastructure bill that the president championed and signed into law exactly 2 years ago this week. And that's bringing a lot of money to Wisconsin. We know $7 billion of that will very likely be coming to our state for highways and bridges, public transportation, electric vehicle charging stations, broadband, money for cyber attacks, water delivery systems, airports, and more. And it's something that we've desperately needed to invest in our country. But that over $7 billion, not even counting the weatherization grants, because they weren't categorized that we're going to receive, it's going to have a big impact. One, in making Wisconsin better, more travelable, more livable, but also it's really a return on people's tax dollars coming back to our state, investing in things that will create good family supporting jobs right here in South Central Wisconsin, specifically in Dane County and in Madison. So we're really proud of what the bill was when we passed it. We know already that we've seen some other announcements from some of the dollars that we passed in the last session. $15 million for bridge repairs along John Nolan Drive. We had Mitch Landrieu come to town for that. And I saw him the other day and I told him, whenever I see Mitch Landrieu on your phone, you take the call because you know money's coming. I think he's every member's favorite speed dial. But also we got over $1 billion for high-speed broadband across the state. You're going to keep seeing deliverables to Wisconsin from that law. And that's why we were so excited to finally, after decades, pass a law that really invests in infrastructure. Specifically, this for mass transit is really needed with the great vision that our mayor has on mass transit. And again, just really proud of what we were able to get done with Democrats in charge.
Thank you, Congressman. And absolutely, in a city that has often had a joke about Infrastructure Week, we've had 104 of them in a row. So we're happy to recognize Madison's Infrastructure Week, and to talk a little bit about that is Mayor Rhodes-Conway. Mayor?
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here today, and we are so excited to be receiving this grant from the FTA. These dollars are allowing us to make a generational investment in our community's transit system with our first bus rapid transit route, the Metro Rapid Route A. I want to thank the President, the Vice President, Senator Baldwin, and of course, Congressman Pocan for their support of the bipartisan infrastructure law, which allows these funds to come to our community. As part of the work we're doing here in Madison to redesign and improve our bus system, the Rapid Route A will make it easier for folks to get across our community, and it will make it vastly more efficient for our transit riders to get to their jobs, places of entertainment, and other important community destinations. It's particularly going to help raise our level of service for low-income riders and for people of color. With this redesign and the Bus Rapid Transit project, approximately 66% of low-income riders will be within walking distance of high-quality bus service available every 15 minutes. And nearly 41% of people of color will also have access to this 15-minute service. In addition, low-income riders will be able to reach 28% more job opportunities than they could via our system last year. And people of color will see a 120% increase in the number of jobs reachable by the new and improved system. And when we talk about reaching job opportunities, that's really a stand-in for all activities that people need in their daily lives, because the places where the jobs are also the places where shopping is, and where entertainment is, where schools are, and where people need to go. So we're very excited to improve access for such important components of our community. And this investment by the FTA is supporting the planned growth and development opportunities around our bus stations, creating new economic development and strengthening our existing neighborhoods. It's also going to help us prepare for the influx of jobs coming to Dane County and, frankly, the influx of people. The population in Madison and Dane County is growing rapidly, and that is why we wanted to move towards a bus rapid transit system, because we know that our unique geography of being on an isthmus just simply can't support more folks driving alone in their cars. And it's critical that we make transit a viable opportunity for everyone in our community. I'm also just so incredibly grateful and excited that as part of the work we're doing with FTA, our BRT buses will all be 60-foot electric vehicles. These are larger vehicles than the buses we have on our streets now. It's going to provide much needed capacity on our system. And it's expected to help us conserve nearly 250,000 gallons of fuel every year. And of course, it helps us meet our climate goals here in Madison. And it will make our air easier to breathe and our streets more comfortable to be on, because electric buses are quieter, more efficient, and obviously they don't put out diesel fumes. So we're really grateful and excited that we can make this investment and have electric vehicles on our streets. In addition to the fuel savings, we are going to be saving about 135 metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions annually. Again, that helps us get to our goal of reducing our emissions by 2030 here in the city of Madison. And I'm just very grateful for that opportunity. I want to say on behalf of every Madisonian who will use this BRT line comfortably, safely, and efficiently to get to work, play, or to connect with any of our other transit lines, I want to say a big thank you. And actually, on behalf of all Madisonians who may or may not use the bus, but will breathe cleaner air and have less congested streets, I want to say thank you to the FTA, to President Biden, to Vice President Harris, to Congressman Pocan, and to Senator Tammy Baldwin for this grant in particular, but for the bipartisan infrastructure law overall, because this is the biggest, but it's not the only benefit that's coming to Madison through the bipartisan infrastructure law. And we are incredibly grateful for the president's leadership and just feel really lucky to be able to partner with FTA to make this project a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you very much for referencing two of President Biden's most critical goals in his administration and through the bipartisan infrastructure law. His concept of Justice 40, where 40% of new spending is spent on previously underserved and marginalized communities, is a hallmark of all of the projects that we work on here at the Federal Transit Administration. And of course, Kelley referenced this, the safest mode of transportation and the most environmentally friendly mode of transportation is going to get even safer and even more environmentally friendly in Madison as those electric buses help us reach the goal that President Biden has set to create a net zero emitting economy in our nation by 2050. So those are two things we're excited to see both for Madison and the rest of our nation. Now, for the last speaker, I'd like to welcome Justin Stuehrenberg, the Madison Metro Transit's General Manager. Justin?
Great. Thank you, Paul. Thank you to the FTA. Thank you to the mayor. Thank you to our represented staff and also our staff here at Metro and in the City Department of Transportation. This is a major effort, a major undertaking, and I'm proud of the product that we're putting out there. Just to give you a little bit of background on the project. So the total project budget here is $194 million. It's about 15 miles with about 65% of that in dedicated right-of-way. We're going to be providing a bus at least every 15 minutes all day long throughout end to end of the line, but even better in the core of the city, a bus every 5 minutes through our campus and downtown areas. The service will have 31 station areas with near-level boarding, full coverage of canopies, fare kiosks, snow melt systems, solar panels, a lot of amenities to make those waiting areas very comfortable and convenient for people. As the mayor mentioned, we'll be rolling out 60-foot electric buses for the project to offer more capacity. These buses will be utilizing a fast charging method to keep those buses out on the road all day long so that we don't have to worry about the range of the bus. We'll have buses, doors on both sides to enable more efficient boarding and then all door fare payment to speed up that boarding process. And we'll be also implementing a centralized signal priority system to keep the buses moving along the street. The project started construction about a year ago in late 2023. To date, we are complete with the concrete work at about 3/4 of our station areas. And the canopy, the steel structures are going up across the city. To date, we've got 3 of the structures up already, and those are coming more and more every day. We plan to continue the work over the winter and into the spring to hopefully wrap up most of our heavy construction by next summer and install the final finishes and electronics over the next summer. The first of our 46 buses will be arriving in December. We'll be able to show that off to the community, with the remainder coming throughout the winter and spring, and with the full order arriving by next summer. And we actually, through a separate grant with the FTA, we were also fortunate to receive an additional 16 buses, which will start rolling out next summer in local service on some of our higher capacity routes. And with the final opening for the BRT happening in the fall of 2024. So again, I just want to say thank you to our elected representatives, the FTA, to the mayor, and to the staff here at Metro for this amazing project, amazing opportunity that I think will really be a gold standard, not just for Madison, but for across the country.
Thank you very much, Justin. And of course, we look forward to seeing football and basketball fans take the buses to the Badger games. We would obviously prefer that you not jump around on the buses. We'll now open up calls to the call to any of your questions. Please use the Zoom tool to raise your hand. I'll be happy to call on you and we'll unmute you from our side, but please also remember to click your unmute as well. As you start speaking, our panelists would appreciate it if you could identify yourself and your outlets. And so we'll take any questions. Again, just raise your hand with the raise hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen if you have a question that you'd like to ask any of our panelists. Okay, seeing no questions, we'll give it 10 or so more seconds. If anybody has a question, again, just click the raise hand feature at the bottom of your Zoom screen. It appears though that we've answered everybody's questions ahead of time, which is great. Thank you all for joining us today. Madam Mayor, Congressman, Justin, thank you all so much. And of course, our Regional Administrator Kelley Brookins, who will be riding herd over this project along with the folks in Madison to make sure that it's, as our secretary likes to say, on time, on task, and on budget, although we'd be completely fine with you being under budget as well. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all who joined the call today, and we'll look forward to seeing those new buses rolling in December. Have a great day.
Thank you.